Hi y'all, Tracey, Trials of a Long-Haired Girl here. Sorry I did not check in last night, so I'm going to kind of recap yesterday and today. Okay, day 3 overall went pretty well. I probably could have done another 10 minutes and, I didn't set a timer or anything, and I didn't really think about, how much time I was doing. My watch would buzz or my alarm would go off. We were busy at work. So I would stand up, because, I'm at my standing desk. I would stand here and do this, work the mouse with one hand and type, with one hand, and to try to make sure that I was getting my steps in. So I probably technically could have done 10 more minutes yesterday, but I think that the time that I didn't set a timer for, that I actually walked, I think that was probably 10 minutes or more. So I just kind of, when the migraine struck last night, because when the nausea hit, I was pretty much done. It's down for the count. Hopefully, by the way, this lighting is better. I added a lamp. So yeah, I took my shower early, hoping that it would help with the migraine and the nausea, but it did not, unfortunately. But I did get my progress picture. I ended the day, let me look. I actually ended the day yesterday. Yeah, I ended the day with 8 points yesterday. It was enough to get me a blue dot, but like I said, I planned on the dinner that we actually wound up having tonight. So my points were very, very low during the day. So that's why I only had 8 points, and I double tracked yesterday. And so I tracked my calories as well. And y'all, I didn't even hit 1,000 calories. I didn't even hit 800 calories. Today, I kind of winged it. I'm trying to make sure that I, did what I could to bump up my calorie intake. I ended the day with 20 points, which I'm totally okay with. And I think, honestly, that's what I'm going to try to shoot for, because basically what I did, I took my weeklies and I divided it by 7, so I get the minimum of 28. So with those 28 weeklies, if I spread those out during the week, that's 20 points a day. So that's kind of what I'm going to shoot for, but focusing on trying to get more 0-point foods in, which is kind of what I did today. And by the way, if y'all have thoughts on what to do with like quinoa and brown rice, I know I have seen recipes where it's like a sweet version of quinoa or brown rice, or some of the other grains. I would love to hear it. Kind of hear what you've tried. What I kind of threw together this morning with a little help from my husband. He found a recipe for fluffy quinoa, and it actually recommended to toast it, but you were only using like 1 teaspoon of olive oil and spread out amongst all of the servings. It still came to 0. So what I did was, when it was finished, I took 1 cup of quinoa. I added some buttery cinnamon roll seasoning that my very sweet friend Kim had sent to me so I could try it before I bought it, to make sure that I liked it. So I put a little bit of that in there to try it, and I threw a tablespoon of my almond coconut milk, and probably about a teaspoon of the seasoning. Then I added a little bit more cinnamon and a little turmeric. Y'all, that was so good. So for tomorrow, I'm not sure if I'm going to have it for a breakfast or a snack, because I'm kind of out of boiled eggs, so I may have it for snack. I put together 1 cup of quinoa again, and put a teaspoon of the chocolate donut seasoning. So, see how that tastes. And a tablespoon of almond coconut milk, and a half a teaspoon of chia seeds. Because I thought, why not? I have heard of people, I don't know anybody who's done it personally, but I know there are people that I've heard or seen that have added quinoa into their overnight oats to kind of bump up the grains and the fiber and protein in their oatmeal. But if any of you have tried it, I would be interested to hear. I did not, I was really kind of winging it today to an extent. I did not have any snacks today. I made, for dinner we had a tomato soup. I think it was a tomato. I'm sorry. Well, it just says creamy tomato soup, but it's more flavorful than like Campbell's. That my husband had gotten from Costco. 1 cup of that was 8 points. And then I had a grilled cheese. I splurged. I had a grilled cheese. I need to edit that. It came out to 7 points, but I'm thinking that, hold on. Oh yeah. So by updating that actually brings it to that actually brings it down. I only had 7 grams of butter that I could spread easily, and so I called it good at that. Only using that means I actually wound up with 19 points versus 20. But I'm relatively full. I was hungry before my husband came home from work, so I got myself some grilled chicken, or well, not grilled, but cooked chicken. I got 3 ounces of chicken breast and ate that, so that's 0 points. So I did have that, I guess, for snack. But for dinner it was tomato soup and grilled cheese. For lunch I had nachos. I had made some black bean refried beans, well, not refried beans, in the Instant Pot. I didn't intend for it to be that way, but I cooked 2 batches of black beans. So I wound up using that for my nachos. What was left of, well, there's still a tiny bit left. About a quarter of a cup, or half a cup I think, I used for my nachos. Put just a tiny bit of cheese, like not even probably a quarter of an ounce. And I used chicken rather than the beef, which is what we had the other night for dinner. And I topped it. It was delicious, by the way. I topped it with 4 black olives, which is 0 points. I cut them up. Lettuce, tomato. Oh, and I threw some quinoa on there too, to try to help it, be a little more filling, because you don't really get that many chips. So, And that was really good. So overall, the only thing that I have left, this again is water. I'm starting water number 5. So my 4 is done. So yeah, my waters got done yesterday. I got a blue dot yesterday. I got a blue dot today. I got my workout in. Ironically enough, I do not have as many steps. Like right now, I only have 93.88. But I actually would set my timer on my Fitbit and stand here and walk while I was working today because we were really busy. So I didn't feel like I could stop, do a workout, and then, go back to it, which is what I normally do. I feel pretty good though. I did a 55-minute workout this morning. Then I did a little stretching after that, some additional stretching of the back exercises that they gave me when I was going to PT. I did some exercises for my hands and my wrists because I type every day. That's what I do for a living. And I notice when my wrists start hurting, I feel like that's something that I need to do. And I took some time. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of T-Tap, Teresa Tap, a Weight Watcher friend that I met from New York years ago actually had recommended it to me. And so when I start hurting, I look for her. And even though she's passed, there are still some great videos sharing various tips and tricks to boost your metabolism and, help work on joints and things like that is not hard on your body. So I did some foot exercises. I did some hand and wrist exercises this morning. Got my workout in. Got my quinoa, my quinoa breakfast put together and ate that. So overall, I feel like it's a good day. I still need to do my reading for today. I did do some reading, but not dedicated, sit down 15 minutes with the timer going. I've been doing that before I go to sleep. That tends to help relax me. And I think my husband appreciates it because then I'm not listening to Murder, She Wrote all the time, because that's typically how I go to sleep. So day 3 and day 4 were good days. I am looking forward to day 5 and getting that in the books. I think I'm kind of sensing 2 things as this is progressing. I am tired. Like I woke up this morning when my alarm went off, but it took me a few minutes, but I was like, you know what, I'm awake, I've been awake, I might as well go on and get up and get my workout done. So I finally talked myself into doing that. So I feel better when I get my workout done earlier in the day, at least, the huge chunk of it. I'm not doing an hour and a half at one time. An hour and a half. I'm not doing my full 90 minutes. Sometimes my workout is 45 minutes and then I'll do several 10-minute walks or like 3 10-minute walks and a 15-minute walk. The other night I went on a walk with my husband. So I think for me, breaking it down has been key, because even when I'm tired, I can still stand here and march in place. That's something that I can physically do. If I'm doing a walking workout, I know what I can do, what I can push through, what I can accomplish if I do it. But the fact of the matter is, even if I'm not doing every step, pushing through, to do every step high intensity, if I'm still moving, I'm still doing something good for my body, and it's still better than me sitting on my hind end doing absolutely nothing. So I feel like that's a positive. Like, I turned on music yesterday, I think it was yesterday, again, for like 15 minutes. And I sat here and I walked and I did some tap outs, you know, as I'm standing here, and I got my arms involved, and I'm sure any of my neighbors across the alley probably thought I was crazy, but I was moving and it got my steps in. So, you know, that's big for me. I'm kind of looking forward to see how this goes. The way that I broke it up on my little chart, I know it's hard to read, it's teeny tiny, but all I have is 8x11 paper, and I thought if I could just fit it there, and then I was going to reprint it again, and we ran out of ink. So there's that. But I thought if I could break it up for myself 25 days at a time, and then if I can focus on, you know, doing 1 week at a time. I've been taking all my progress pictures, and I was going to post them on my Instagram. But I think I've kind of decided what I want to do is I want to wait until Sunday when I take my last progress pic for the week, and then put up 7 days at a time. I know that's probably not going to show a huge difference, but I feel like it's going to hold me accountable to an extent, and I'm going to be able to, you know, see the slideshow in a glance, because Lord have mercy, nobody's going to want to watch, or nobody's going to want to go through 75 pictures for real, except maybe me, because, you know, it is me. But I'm feeling good about it so far. I'm trying to, I've been kind of binge watching some videos lately, and I'm feeling like I have, okay, let me just be very real for a minute. I feel like I've really kind of messed up my metabolism. All the years of fad dieting, all the years of binging, and I don't binge now like I used to binge. Honestly, I used to not be able to control myself a lot, or I would have things, you know, like we would eat out for pretty much every meal, and that's not healthy, and I know that. And as I was watching Kim's weigh-in video today, and she's going through something that she had written down, and she was talking about the reasons that she eat, and I replied to her and told her, you know, she's spot on, because really and truly, those are a lot of the reasons that I eat. Give me an emotion, mad, glad, happy, sad, frustrated, angry, concerned, scared. Most of those I used to eat my way through. It didn't matter what emotion, what was going on. The one time that I think it really, really registered with me that I was not eating my feelings, twice I guess actually, my husband got sick, and I was very worried, and I didn't eat. And even my coworker said something. Well, hello, Bo. My boys just came back from their walk. So anyway, overall, really, I think day 3 and day 4 went well. I'm looking forward to day 5. So, you know, I feel like while everything isn't perfect, I think everything... You okay? I think everything is going well so far. I'm hoping that my momentum continues and I don't just kind of fizzle out like I do with so many challenges. Because honestly, and that's part of the reason why I didn't invite anybody else to join me on this. I mean, I'm happy and I will be a cheerleader for you if you decide that you want to do something like this. But I knew that if I invited other people to join me with this, I would be real good out of the gate, and then it would fizzle out. So, one of the big reasons that I'm doing this is because I want to instill in myself the good, healthy habits. One of the things, I was talking to my husband about it the other day, one of the things that Ruth Sukup mentions in one of her books that I read was, if you want to try to incorporate a new habit, one of the easiest ways to do that is to add upon something that you're already doing. So, like, I have my morning routines that I go through, and they're kind of thrown off kilter right now because I'm getting up earlier, so I can't get up and make the bed because my husband's still in it. But I'm trying to incorporate the good things that I know that I need to do for myself, like the reading. That's part of the reason why I do it before bed, because I can try to relax a little bit and my mind's not going 90 to nothing. So I think that for me is helpful. The fact that I'm getting up, I'm working out, I'm still trying to get my morning routine exactly where I want it. But overall, I think it's kind of going fairly well. We have no idea at this point when we're going back into our office. And when that happens, my schedule's going to have to change again. But for right now, this is working. So I'm just gonna write it out. So, yeah. Looking forward to day 5. Have a great night, y'all.